Okay, so last time we have seen different IC technologies. Okay, processor technology we have over, IC technology also we have over. Now in this, this is the last point from the unit number 1. The topic is the embedded system life cycle. Okay, so first of all we see what do you mean by the embedded system life cycle? What are different steps achieved in the life cycle? And then what is the need for embedded life cycle? Last one, what are the different types of embedded life cycle? Okay, so last time also I have explained what is embedded system life cycle. Okay. Just a minute. Okay. Okay. So what is embedded system life cycle that we have seen? So the definition is given, that is series of steps or phases through which embedded system is produced. Okay. So embedded system life cycle is nothing but let I have to produce one of the embedded product, for example, the digital camera or the mobile phone. So what are the different steps through which I will prepare my product? Okay. That is called as the embedded system life cycle. So this is nothing but the systematic phases or steps through which I will build my product. Okay, so that is called as the embedded system life cycle. Now it requires months and to years to complete. So that is also we have said. Now what is inside the this embedded system life cycle? So there are different steps. So what is the goal of each phase that is given here? Okay, so just say this is theoretical one, you have to understood. Okay, one by one. If there is any problem, I will again discuss, no problem. I will give the examples also, but this topic is theoretical one. Okay, goals of each phase is mark out a clear set of steps to perform. Okay, that means that I have to go to Pune. So before going to Pune, I have to finalize everything. That is, I have to start from that Maregaon, then I have to go to the Baramati, and from Baramati, whether I have to go through the bus or I have to take a train. So just see, so I should have some clear set of steps before I have to go to the Pune. Okay, so that is what the first point. Second point, produce a tangible document or item. Okay, so if I keep a document of each and everything that I have done, okay, that is starting from the Maregaon to Baramati and Baramati to Pune. So whatever the things I have gone through, I will make a note of all these items. Okay, so that means you should have some documentation. Okay, and next is third goal of each stage is allow for review of work. Okay, so now first time you have gone from Maregaon to Pune. Okay, now again next week you have to go to the Pune. Okay, now already you have gone through this process previously, so now you have your own experiences. So now I can review that. If I go to Pune from Baramati by using train, I will require more time, but it will save my money. Getting, but if I go through the bus, it will go faster, but I have to pay more. Getting, now this is what the review of your previous work. So likewise, if you build any product first time, and when you try to build your product next time, now you have some experiences. Okay, that is nothing but before going for the next product, now you can review the work of your previous product. Next is specify actions to perform in the next phase. Okay, so there are different phases, so we will discuss this. Okay, now the definition we have seen of embedded system life cycle. Now one can ask that what is the use of this embedded system life cycle? It's why to study this particular topic. So for this, one common observation is given, means the reason is given why to use a or why we have a life cycle models. Okay, so the reason is very simple, that is given. Let's see, the later a problem is found in embedded system, the more costly it is to fix. Okay, that means, let I have built one product. Okay, I have built one product, and after launching my product in the market, okay, the customer have purchased my product, but while using that product, now it has found that there are some problem with your product. Okay, now what is your process? Okay, the process is, again, go to the that whatever the dealer shop. Okay, again give your product there, and dealer will again send to the company, and then company will check what is the problem with that particular product, and then it takes some time again to fix it. Okay, now this is what the problem. So in between this, there are a lot of that is a wastage of time as well as wastage of money, and also it will have a bad impression on the market, that is on customers. So that is what the problem with the product. Okay, so this problem can be solved if you follow the embedded system lifecycle models. Okay, means rather than directly launching your product into the market with some problems, okay, and fixing your problems in a later stage, why not to fix these problems in the earlier stage before launching your product into the market? So this particular thing is done by using embedded system lifecycle model. That's why we have to use these lifecycle models, and these are practically used in all the industry. Okay, embedded industry or all the software industries. Okay, I think this is clear. Okay, what is embedded system lifecycle and the need of embedded system life cycles. Okay, the next point is what are the different phases, okay, are called as the steps of embedded systems. So first, standard, there are some standard phases also, okay, and there are some other phases also, but try to follow the standard phases. So in the standard phases, you have the first phase, which is called as a requirement. Okay, in requirement, you have the analysis and specification. Then in the second phase, you have the design. In the third, implementation and integration. In the fourth, testing, profiling, and quality assurance. In the fifth, operation and maintenance. Okay, so these are the five standard phases of embedded system life cycle. There are some other possible phases also, like risk assessment, that is examining what actions are crucial, okay, while performing them first. Okay, and the next phase is called as a prototyping. So you already know what is prototype, that is building a some kind of model. Okay, so making a quick version of the product and using it to guide design decisions. Okay, so these are some of the phases of your embedded system life cycle. So I will explain all these steps one by one. Okay, so if you observe, this is a simple block diagram of different phases of your embedded life cycle. So first is requirements. Okay, so what is requirement? Let I have to build I have to build a one car. Okay, so first I should have some requirement, that is that I have some company, or let I am a customer. So I have some requirement, I want a four-wheeler. Okay, next is a analysis. Okay, so analysis means I have given just the overall idea of the requirement, but after that I will require the specifications also. Okay, so first is design document, so then requirement. Now requirement, it's a overall idea, I want a four-wheeler, but I have to give some specifications. What is specification? Whether it is a petrol car, okay, or a diesel car, or the CNG car. Okay, then you can add the features, like whether it requires the ABS systems, okay, or your whatever the audio video systems, okay, then Bluetooth, and whatever the other features you can add into. So these are called as the specifications, that is whatever the specific requirement of the customers, that has to be specified or verified in this second phase, that is called as a specification. Then is analysis, system design, then you have the detailed design, then implementation and the testing. So these are the different phases that are shown in this block diagram. Okay, now we will see the meaning of each phase. Only then you will understand the life cycle. Okay, so first phase is called as a requirement that I have already told you. What is the requirement? That is, let I want a four-wheeler car. So this is what the overall requirement. Now what is specifications? Specification means you have to mention it properly. That is specifically whether you require the petrol car or the diesel car and any other specifications. So that is what the specifications. Now you just observe that what do you mean by the analysis, what do you mean by the design and the implementation phases. Okay, so first we will understand the meaning of the phases and then you will understand the different models of your embedded system. Okay, so first is in any product development applications, we consider the first phase is called as analysis. What do you mean by analysis? So analysis is nothing but the what product needs to be developed. Okay, so you have to, in the first phase, you have to analyze your requirement, which involves understanding what product needs to be developed. Okay, that means what product you have to develop, that you have to analyze. Okay, or that you have to define. So that is called as the analysis. Second phase is called as a design. Now what is design? Okay, let I have to build a four-wheeler. Then what are the different approaches to build that four-wheeler? Okay, each company having its own approach. Okay, that is Hyundai, or you have the Maruti Suzuki. Okay, and there are many more, Honda. So each company having its own approach, design to build that particular four-wheeler. Okay, and then last step is called as implementation. Implementation means actual practical realization of your model. Okay, so in the implementation you have the two parts. One is the software, writing the software, and implementing the hardware. So implementation having the two parts, software implementation and the hardware implementation. Okay, and you have to implement it. Okay, so implementation is developing the product by realizing the design. Okay, so I think you have understood the these three phases: analysis, design, and implementation. Okay, again I will explain what is analysis. Analysis means I have to decide, or I have to understand what kind of product needs to be developed. Okay, so that is what the analysis. Then what is design? Design means you have to use a proper approach to build your product. Okay, because there are a number of approaches available. Okay, out of that you have to use one of the approach. Okay, next is implementation. Now implementation means practical realization, that is implementing the hardware and the software. So that is called as a implementation. Now next phase is a development and testing phase. Okay, so development and testing phase means, development means designing the particular product into hardware and software. Okay, so which is nothing but the implementation. So this page is also called as implementation or development. Now in the testing, you have the different ways of testing. So testing can be divided into independent testing of software and hardware, because you have two implementation. One is a hardware implementation, second is a software implementation. Okay, so you have to test your software individually, and you have to test your hardware also individually. Okay, so depending upon, there are different ways of testing. So first is called as a unit testing, second is called as a integration testing, third is called as a system testing, and fourth is called as a user acceptance testing. Now what is unit testing? Let I have 4 units in my product, so I will test each unit individually. So this is called as unit testing. Now second is called as a integration testing. Okay, now integration testing means in my single unit I have two parts, one is a hardware and second is a software. So I will integrate the hardware and software, and I will test this in software and hardware, okay, as an integrated unit. That is called as an integration testing. System testing means you have connected all the blocks, okay, that is all the units, and you are testing your all this block as a system, complete system. That is called as a system testing. Now fourth is called as a user acceptance testing. What is user acceptance testing? So it is nothing but after building your product, okay, you have to check whether your client or the customer is satisfied or not. Okay, so whether your customer has accepted your product or not, that is called as a user acceptance testing. Okay, so this is not only sufficient but important condition. That means building a product is not important, but the acceptance of your product in the market is also important. So that's why this testing is also, this is not a technical, it's only from the client or customer's point of view. That is called as a user acceptance testing. The next phase is called as a retirement, or this is called as a disposal. Okay, so what is retirement of your product or disposal of the product? So the retirement or disposal of the product is a gradual process. Okay, so this phase is the final phase in a product development life cycle. I will show in the that flow diagram. Okay, this is the last step of the your model. Now the product, when to discontinue this one, the product is declared as a discontinued from the market if the disposal of the product is essential. Means when to retire your product or dispose your product from the market. So that is what the condition. So when you will dispose your product or retire your product from the market under the two conditions. One is if increased user needs. Okay, that means you have built you have built a mobile like Nokia. Okay, but the user needs a lot of features into this. Okay, into this mobile. So you cannot continue with that model. So you have to stop that model. Okay. Second, rapid technology advancement. Okay, now, for example, in Nokia, just say Nokia, that is without Android. Okay, the system or mobile without Android. So we cannot use such a kind of mobile because right now we require the mobile with Android technology. So if there is any rapid technology advancement, okay, so these are the two reasons why to dispose your product or retire your product from the market and design your new product. Okay, with the required needs of your customer and with a rapid technology advancement. Okay, so these are called as a different uh, phases or steps of your embedded system life cycle. All these are shown in this particular steps. I will show you. Let's see. Rather than this, let's see. Now these are the different steps of your embedded life cycle. So first is requirement phase, then specification phase, okay, design phase, then implementation phase, integration phase, then we have a maintenance phase, and last one is a retirement phase. Are you getting this? I think so. So all these are the different phases of your embedded life cycle. Okay, so we have seen the different steps and also its meaning. What is requirement? That is a rough idea about what product you want to build. Specifications of your product. Design, like designing your circuit diagram. What is implementation? Implementation means doing the software coding and the hardware implementation. Integration means integrate all your parts. Okay, then maintenance phase, okay, that is done the last one. Okay, and the retirement, that phase also I have discussed. Okay, so we will go one by one. Okay, so next point, that is models. Okay, so what are the different types of models available in the this embedded system lifecycle? So it depends on the actually project. So different projects may interpret these phases differently. Okay, then each particular style is called a embedded system lifecycle model. Okay, so just see the type of phases and type of model depends upon the type of project, what kind of project you want. Okay, so depending upon, there are different types of lifecycle model. So first model is called as a single version model. Next is called as an incremental model. In this, you have single version with prototyping or without prototyping. Then iterative model. Okay, so iterative model, in this you have incremental or iterative. Okay, so just you have to remember that the type of model depends upon the type of project over here. Okay, and each particular style is called as an embedded system lifecycle model. If anybody asks you what is embedded system lifecycle model, so this is the type of phases that are used, okay, that are used in your projects. And the different embedded system lifecycle models that are nothing but these are the some of the ways or some of the models that are discussed. Now, out of this, we'll discuss what is a incremental model and what is a iterative model. Okay, so we have to build a house. Simple, very simple example I will give. I have to build a house. Okay, so there are two ways I will build a house. One is called as a incremental, and second is called as iterative way of building a house. Now, what is done in incremental type of building a house? So I will start with a modest house. Okay, yes, I will build one kind of house, simple model of house, and then I will keep adding rooms and upgrade to it. Okay, this is something like I will build some model and then I will upgrade my model with the required number of features. Okay, so that is called as the type of uh, incremental type of model. Okay, are you getting or not? Incremental means you start with some kind of model, and according to your needs, you have to modify the or you have to modify the your particular product. Okay, the example is given here. Example is given, that is, let you purchase a house. Okay, now after purchasing a house, you are adding the features into your house. Okay, for example, whatever the requirement of your kitchen, then for your TV, then you are doing some furnitures. Okay, then whatever the safety doors, maybe some other electronic safeties. Okay, now these are nothing but the you are adding the features to your existing product or whatever the existing house. Okay, that means you are upgrading your house with different features for yourself. So this is called as an incremental type of model. Now, what is iterative type of modeling? So iterative type of modeling is actually it's quite different. In this, iterative means I have number of iterations. Okay, so on each iteration, the house is redesigned and built anew. That means I will purchase a house. Okay, and then I will see that my needs or my features are not fitted into that house. So I will again redesign the new house. Okay, and I will build a new house in the second step. Now in third step, if I have to add something new feature into my house, rather than continuing with the previous house, I will redesign the second house and I will build a new house. Are you getting? So this is not a good way of using the models. So iterative type is actually is not a good way of using it or building a embedded models. Are you getting? This is what the iterative model. Incremental means you have the product and you just upgrade your product with your needs. In iterative model, you have a product, okay, and if you want to add some features into your product, you have to redesign and rebuild your product again as a new. Okay, in each iteration, just see. So this is iteration 1, iteration 2, iteration 3. So every time you have to redesign and build a new house. So that is not possible. Okay, so that is what the big difference is given as. One can live in the incremental house, okay, with whatever the modification with the entire time, but one has to move to a new iterative house. So you cannot go in the iterative house. Okay, you can go in incremental house because you can do modification to your existing product only. So this is the difference between the incremental model and the iterative model. I think you have understood this. Okay, are you getting or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Don't trace yourself. Okay, so it's very simple. I have explained that. What is embedded system life cycle? Okay, it's nothing but the different phases of building your product. What is the need? The need is, if you have not used these phases, then there is a problem after launching your product in the market. Okay, and then this process is very time consuming, and it's a costly process. So to avoid that problems, you have to follow these kinds of models. Okay, then different phases we have seen. What is the meaning of each phase? Starting from requirement, specification, design phase, implementation, testing, okay, then maintenance and the retirement. So these are the phases. Now, what are the different models? So these are the two models, iterative and incremental type. Now, these are the basic model that I have told, that is incremental and iterative. But some of the standard life cycle models that are widely used in industry are nothing but, okay, so the first model, that is called as a build and fix model. Okay, build and fix model. Second life cycle model is called as a waterfall model. So this is also a widely used model, waterfall model. Third is rapid prototyping model. This is used in civil engineering, rapid prototyping model. Then incremental model, okay, that I have just explained to you. Then extreme programming, synchronize and stabilize model, spiral model, V model, object-oriented life cycle models. Okay, so out of this, 3 to 4 are very important. Okay, waterfall model, spiral model, and V model. These are very important models regarding your exam also. Okay, so we will see one by one. Okay, maybe one or two models will be complete in this lecture. Okay, so just see, right now I have only 2 minutes, okay, remaining from the previous 40 minutes. So after 2 minutes, try to rejoin the this Zoom meeting again. Okay, so it may discontinue at any time. So I will explain the first model, that is build and fix model. Okay, now what is build and fix model? So in this build and fix model, in the build and fix model, it is also referred to as an ad hoc model. The product or software is developed without any specifications or design. An initial product is built, which is then repeatedly modified until it satisfies the user. Okay. So what is done in build and fix model? In the build and fix model, one model is already built, okay, and put in front of the customer or client, that I have I want to make a car. So if I purchase to some company, he will directly put one kind of model in front of me. Okay, so that is called as a build and fix model. So in this case, what happened? Whatever the available model, they will put in front of the customer, and then customer has to told what are its own specification, and according to the specification of customer, the company or the designer will add the feature into that particular model. So that is called as a build and fix model. That means one model is put in front of the customer. Now customer has to told that what kind of feature he will require or she will require, and accordingly we will fix that model with that feature. So that is called as a build and fix model. So now this is the flow diagram.